Australian sport inclined, we will have a look at the cricket.
Yes, we'll move into the cricket. Run us through the Big Bash League final, which was going on while we were broadcasting.
When we
last time.
finished, I think the Sixers were about 12 overs into their innings.
Or a little bit deeper, but
maybe a bit deeper.
We didn't have the second innings.
When I was driving home, it was the Scorchers were in at trying to chase the runs down. So the Sixers ended up making 6 for 188. You remember mid-podcast last week that Josh Philippe
got fried.
Absolutely barbecued. I'd rewatched it. I think it is Vince's call in this. He hits it in front of him. The thing that stuffed him up is it went sort of behind his pad and then dropped to his feet. Philippe just took off and Vince didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Didn't cost him in the end, so who really cares? Vince dropped by Mitch Marsh on 82. He was on track to score a huge ton here. He was manipulating the strike.
I think he was dropped after
really
after
well.
Marsh as well.
He ended up getting he sliced one to backward point of Fawad Ahmed. He was 95 off 60 in the 15th. So you think if he bats another 5 overs, faces another 20 balls, he might have been on for 120, 130 there. Some unreal clean hitting from him. There's that lofted cover drive that he hit so cleanly.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That was just about the sexiest shot in the match. I just wanted to touch on the English impact, especially for batting and opening hitting.
Yeah.
Their T20 international team will be very good. So Alex Hales obviously was a top run scorer. After this knock, James Vince goes to second. Livingston was 7th, and Roy, I think, finished about 14th for runs, but also missed a few games towards the end with the ankle. So they essentially could have had 4 guys in the top 10 for runs in Big Bash being English. So that'll be one to watch out for when there's some international T20 games going on. I think they are playing India in the T20s after the Test series.
They've just named their squad, actually.
And I imagine those guys would all be in it.
No Hales. No Hales.
Is he going somewhere
ever
else,
since, I think it was nearly 2 years ago, he failed a drug test before a tour, and they were pretty... I know Root was pretty open to the media saying he's lost the trust of his teammates for failing a drug test. I think it was on a tour or something that he...
Recreational or performance?
But Jimmy will look that up for us. But still, so 2 years of Alex Hales hasn't been able to get
I assume it'd
back
be
in.
recreational. If it was performance, he'd probably be suspended.
Banned, actually. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Probably some nose candy.
Yeah, something like that.
The PCP League.
PCP League.
Run us through the Scorchers innings.
Scorchers made 9 for 161. They got off to a good start. Liam Livingston, as aforementioned, one of the English impact guys in the BBL, he had a quick 45. Once he got out, it started going downhill pretty quick for Perth. They were 1 for 56 off their first 6, and Livingston was out pulling Bird to deep mid-wicket, just got it real high on the bat. That man, James Vince, he took an absolute screamer at cover to get rid of Mitch Marsh. Full Horry in the right hand. Ashton Turner dismissal in the 17th. That was about the game. Sixers cruised to the win by 27 runs. Dan Christian, we had been talking about how good his hitting had been throughout the Big Bash. Got the job done with the ball. He had 2 for 25 of his 4. And the bird is a word, Jackson Bird, 2 for 14 of his 3. Sixers go back-to-back. Both Sydney Sixers and Perth have 3 titles each now. So that gives them 6 out of the 10 Big Bashes. So by, leaps and bounds better than the other 6
the best
franchises. Did you guys see on Dan Christian's Instagram, they did
this is good.
We ain't going nowhere. We ain't. So Brady and Gronk style Insta. Sun rising.
Yeah, sun in the back. Still in there. Or the pinks.
Full kits. I wonder where they'd been.
Stinky.
Like on the harbour getting stuck in.
Yeah, the sun rising behind the harbour bridge, just reminding us that we live in the best country in the world. Very funny. And Dan Christian gave a little Brady sort of, he was a bit smug in that video.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's good value.
Alan bought a medal.
Yeah. So
Apparently.
Steve Smith wins the medal with 126 votes. He beats out Cummings, who got 114, and Finch had 97. This is Smith's 3rd Alan Border medal. Only Ponting and Clark have more with 4. What do you boys think?
I think Steve said himself that he was a little bit surprised that he won this. Obviously, his test record over the past 12 months, not the best. He did get that ton in Sydney.
Compared to someone like, say, Labuschagne.
Yeah, Labuschagne's
scoring the most.
The most test runs out of anyone in Test cricket this last year. obviously wins this off the back of his ODI performances. He was really good against India. And
I was just thinking about this.
3 games here.
Did Labuschagne
600.
play in the one-day
Yeah, he did.
games at
He
all?
was in those.
Didn't do much though.
Didn't do
No,
much,
it didn't
yeah.
do a whole lot. And it does make me wonder. I don't think there's any preference given to any format of the game. So it's not like they say
Weight test higher.
yeah, it's
than-
like the way I do it is like your test matches are 50% and then your ODIs are 30 and then your 2020s are 20%. That's like how I do it, but I don't think it works like that.
No, I think it's just straight games.
It's just
of
straight up
cricket.
points.
So
that-
if you play all 3 forms, I wouldn't think Marnus has played a T20 for
No,
Australia.
no.
So whereas Smudge would have played a few, hence Marnus being about 5th or 6th, I think he was. I
Yeah.
thought Paddy Cummins was more
I
stiff
thought,
than Marnus.
I thought Paddy was a
Agreed.
really good shout. Obviously plays across all 3 formats. I couldn't tell you how many 2020s we've played. I know we had those 3 against India. But then before COVID, maybe there was a few against England earlier in the year. It was probably 6 2020s total. In the
Again, COVID makes it
in the
so hard to
calendar year.
remember cricket, and it's been so many gaps. And
Yeah.
but I mean,
Ashton Agar, shout out, was the T20 player of the year.
that probably tells you a bit. I imagine if we've played 5 games, he's probably taken 7 wickets.
Yeah. And maybe something we need to work on as a country.
Yeah, well, I think we were talking about last year. We want to take it more seriously. We wanted to host the World Cup. We just, I couldn't tell you our best T20 11.
No,
Like,
and
you
we
know.
were talking about it last week where, it's not really like the test team where it really sort of picks itself
No.
other than 5 and 6. Like,
You probably need, and I think you see it with other T20 teams around the world. You need like a team of 16, and depending on who you play, you'll play 2 spinners here and an extra bat here, and maybe we can play 4 openers as the top 4 who can dash because, it's just like I said last week. It's kind of like a different sport to Test cricket. And we just have not figured it out yet. We just haven't worked out the keys.
And
So.
it's-
When's the series against New Zealand start?
22nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, so next week. So
Yeah. I think off the top of my head. So it's
I
not
think they're
not
over there. I think they cleared
Yeah, they
are over
quarantine
there.
just over there. So they're in the nets.
That'll be a good test. New Zealand's quite good T20 cricketers. It'd be interesting to see how that goes. Obviously, tune in on the Esky to follow that in the coming weeks. The Belinda Clark Award went to Beth Mooney in the Chicks. The Test Player of the Year, Paddy Cummins. I don't think there's too much debate there. Obviously, Labuschagne might have been a shout. Steve Smith, I think, was by far and away the best ODI player. The Domestic Player of the Year, Sean Marsh.
Get him in.
He's
No, he always hits 100 in
Sean
Shield.
Marsh, is he 37?
His Shield records is great.
Yeah,
so.
great. He's a shout to play Test cricket again.
Oh, I don't know.
His
I don't know
age
if
is the problem, I think, at this point. You'd prefer to go a younger bloke that you give a start and maybe he's not going to do great, but you give him a couple of years to build him up versus Marsh, who's 35 or 36 at this point.
He's hit a
37,
ton
so, yeah.
for Australia in every batting position, 1 through 7.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
7 surprises me.
I think it must have been a night watchman situation.
Yeah,
batting 6
yeah.
or something, but it's pretty cool.
I wonder who else has done that. Not many people, you wouldn't think.
Can't imagine it's anyone. Yeah.
That's the 7s.
Shows to his
the real-
flexibility. He was always so maligned and still is really.
Yeah, he is. People
yeah.
slander him. I
I
do
love it.
get
I
like
follow.
the Mitch Marsh experiment in Test cricket, obviously not the best. I think had the worst numbers ever as a Test batter.
I think the biggest
He also
issue,
hit 200, so let's not forget that.
I think the biggest issue was his old man was a selector, which probably didn't help. The favoritism, both brothers are getting in there. It was like everyone then discounted what he was actually doing.
Can we have Sean Marsh's Test record?
Australia
please?
needs it though. It just seems like that we need a figure that we can scapegoat or pin it on. We can't have.
Yeah.
We can't be happy with our Test team. We can't
exactly.
look at it now. We just pick it apart and
Yeah,
Langer and Payne. It's just.
Well, the way people were getting into Smudge when he hadn't scored a ton for a year,
Yeah.
You're like,
And-
hello, he's like the best. best
Again, he's had
batsman, since Bradman.
what's wrong with Smith? He's had an off year. He's just one of our best cricket player in the country.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just needed. So
very
and Marsh
short-term
just took
memories
that.
in
Yeah, yeah. But that's what it is. That's why it's so high pressure. You got 11 blokes representing the country, which is
Did you cover the young cricketer of the year?
Will Sutherland,
the last
tweaker out of New South Wales.
son of James, former CEO of Cricket
I
Australia.
did not know that.
Yeah.
There you go. Sean Marsh.
So Sean Marsh. So his Test record is 38 matches. Off that, 2,265 runs, batting average of 34.3.
Yeah, I guess maybe that is probably a little bit low. That's lower than I was expecting. I was expecting maybe low 40s.
I think his record was worse in Australia, and he played better overseas as well.
He had a couple.
Yeah,
of
well, I remember
yeah.
he did well in India a few
Yeah.
times. Yeah, I'd have to go back through the
Have
test
you got
career
his?
of
Sorry, James.
Sean
Do you have
Marsh.
his 1 day numbers there? He actually had a couple of really good days in the coloured
he
clothes.
Sure did.
Yeah, so ODIs 73.
73
matches.
fair few.
Is that all?
Oh,
I would have thought it'd be a lot more.
There you go.
Ricky Ponting played 400 one day.
Yeah,
I mean, well, please don't think I'm comparing Sean Marsh to Ricky Ponting. But
1 days, of course, were a bit different. Oh, well, I guess Sean Marsh has been around for ages as well. But yeah,
2,773 runs, average of 40.8.
yeah, so that's a very good Andrew. 1 day
handy.
opening,
That's very handy.
opening top
averaging
4.
40 in ODIs.
Yeah, but that's again malign figure.
do you have
I think
his
he's-
domestic record there?
Oh,
Shield
bulk.
record?
He would have
Mm.
bulk
Bulk
shield
runs.
runs.
Testing me here.
But again, he's one we were talking about last week. He's just scored shield runs. We talk about he scored runs. He got picked because he was the best for the moment. And
Oh, I think he's been the best in Shield cricket for like the last decade. He always seems to be top or up the top there for runs.
just hits
scored.
100. He just hits 100.
Yeah,
It's
he
100,
loves
so-
making shield runs.
Yeah,
Should we have a look at the Test cricket?
yeah. Run through it. Start with his West Indies, because I do remember
Well,
you
we were
saying
slandering-
Bangladesh cannot lose it from here. They've got it sorted.
We were slandering the
On the
West
Esky
Indies.
jinx.
I think we're about day 3.5 at the time of last podcast. Yeah, West Indies chased this down. They needed 395 in the fourth innings in Chattogram, formerly known as Chittagong. Chattogram. I realised that this week. Yeah, so I don't know if the Windies were listening to us bagging them. So
Fired up.
the fifth highest successful fourth innings run chase ever.
Yep.
So let that sink in, and the highest ever in Asia. That is unbelievable.
Awesome.
Because you said the rank Turner and Chittagong.
Yeah, I thought they were going to get skittled for like 120 in this. And this guy Kyle Mayers, remember the name, goes out and scores a double ton on Test debut, batting 5.
if you don't mind.
First player ever,
Yeah, right.
ever in Test cricket. 144 years of Test cricket history. First guy ever to get a double ton on debut.
In the fourth innings, chasing 4. That's
Batting 5
Yeah, that's
with a
good on you.
unbelievable. So you'd imagine he would have
Kyle Mayers. Yeah,
cemented his spot
I
in
think
that side
they
for
got
a
the
while.
total with say 90 balls I think left in the session,
Yep.
in the test as well. So
And he
did a good
also
job.
he also had to. So there was that. I'm going to butcher this. Nkrumah Bonner. He was batting 4. He made 86.
Great
and then
partnership between
Blackwood was batting. Did I say Bonner? Bonner was batting 4 and Blackwood was batting 6.
Mm-hmm.
When Blackwood got out, they were 5 for 292, so they still needed 100 batting with the keeper in the tail.
Yeah.
And Mayers managed to manipulate the strike and score 80 of those last 100
good
runs.
batting.
Yeah, it's good batting.
bloody good batting.
Unbelievable. Josh De Silva had 20 odd the keeper, and then they were into the bowlers. Two of them got ducks, I think. So, yeah, he was able to steer him home in that one.
So Mayer got 24s and 7 sixes.
So it was. I'm going for the victory.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
make a
And they'll
name for
push it.
myself in
Yeah.
debut, and he
His
did.
strike
Good on
rate
him.
was 67.
Yeah, and I imagine that would have been two different. Like if you looked at the strike rate of the first ton compared to the second ton, I think it might have been.
Oh yeah, he would have rammed it up. He's
very-
looking at it. He's looking at the
very
shed.
different gun. This is up to me.
The
I've got
bowler's putting 2 left-handed gloves on, going, shit. This is on me.
So I guess the one thing to come out of this that you want to watch is that it doesn't turn around and turn that into a big like IPL contract and it doesn't play Windies Test cricket
Well,
ever
yeah.
again.
very big danger of that
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
They're actually playing.
playing
Just started
now,
the second
yeah.
test. So
Day one?
day 2, West Indies were bowled out for 409.
Ooh, runs.
What do Mayers get?
Let's have a look at our boy Kyle. 5. So remember that.
That's all right. Drop him.
Bonner made 90. Our boy De Silva 90 as well.
Yep.
Alzari Joseph batting 8, hit 80.
Ooh, that's all right.
That's a good. Solid.
Jayed took 4. Tajul Islam took 4, and Bangers up 4 for 80 in response. Reeling a little bit here. So
Windies.
maybe this is the resurgence. On the Esky fired them up so much. We saved West Indies cricket. You heard it here first.
Hey man, you listen to this, boys. They say we are shit. I won't do that again. Second
Go on the
test.
Saffers.
Second test, Saffers and Pakistan. Obviously in Pakistan, we were day 2, I think, into this last time. So in the second innings, Mohammad Rizwan went out and made 115 not. for Pakistan. George Lent, I had to look up this guy, 5 for 64, left arm orthodox. That's his first Michelle 5 for South Africa.
Yep.
South Africa needed 370 to win. They had a reasonable crack at it. Aidan Markram, the opener, had 108, and then Temba Bavuma, 61, batting in the middle order there. Hassan Ali, 5 for 60, man of the match with a little 10 for 114, if you don't mind, in the match.
That's impressive.
Pakistan win that series 2-0, and they're into a 3 T20 game series now. Pakistan's already won that first one. That man, Mohammad Rizwan, he opens for their T20 team. He had 104 of 62. That was his first ton in T20 internationals, and they did a really good job trying to get these runs. The South Africans, Reza Hendricks had 54. They fell short by 3 runs, and Usman Kadir, leg spinners in T20. We talk about
I
it.
think he's had a stint down here, don't I?
Yeah,
Maybe with the Heat.
I think,
I think so.
I think he has
You're
been in
right,
the Big
yes.
Bash League. He had 2 for 20, getting Pakistan home there. They obviously haven't lost in this series yet in terms of 2 tests and 1 T20. We'll have the second and third games, the results of that next week on the Esky.
Just to that test match, South Africa were chasing
370.
370. They were 3 for 240, bowled for 270.
Wow.
So Hassan
collapse.
absolutely destroyed
He
them.
went through them. I've got the scorecard here.
Yeah,
So Bavuma made 60 odd.
Yep.
Golden for Quinton.
Yep.
Wilhelm Muller made 20, and then bowlers 4, duck 2 not out.
Wow.
Wow.
Like that's pathetic to be
Yeah.
honest. Like that's
Yeah.
40 runs, 7 for 40 they lost.
Crumble.
I mean, so again, we talked about it last week. South Africa coming out here, Stain, Hintini, Smith, Callis, De Villiers. They're pretty pathetic at the moment.
Yeah,
to be honest,
yeah.
I'm shattered we didn't go over there. Would have been
Yes.
perfect for us. I honestly think we match up really well against them. Would have been good for Pekovsky and Green to go hit some runs.
Yeah. Good
even-
prep
yeah.
for the Ashes.
100%. We go into the
And it's probably cost us a chance at this
Test Championship, which is again is another test against good quality cricket. I think they're it was West Indies last week. It's South Africa this week.
Yeah. We'll watch them go out and win these next
Yeah,
two games
exactly.
by 100 runs each.
Yeah.